let's welcome our final 3MT finalists today, who is Aixin Yi from the History Department. Aixin is presenting a talk titled Faith and Rebuilding in a Time of Crisis, Christian Efforts of Rural Reconstruction During the Second Sino-Japanese War. Welcome, Aixin.
When we think about Christian missions in China, many of us picture the 19th century or early 20th century when foreign missionaries preaching in treaty ports or building hospitals and schools under the protection of imperial power. And that history is real. But by 1930s and 40s, a new generation of Chinese Christian leaders had emerged, influenced by global movements that emphasized social service and by China's deepening rural poverty. They believed Christianity was not just about saving souls, it was about improving everyday life. My research asks a simple but surprising question. Why were Chinese Christians, which were often associated with evangelism or foreign influence, become so deeply involved in rebuilding rural communities during the Second Sino-Japanese War, one of China's greatest national crises? I argue that during the war, Chinese Christian reformers had become important humanitarian actors directly engaged in relief and rural reconstruction, rather than remaining detached as purely colonial religious institutions. Let's travel back to 1938 and see what was happening on the ground. When bombs fell across China and millions fled, in the mountains of West China, something else was happening. As universities and central government institutions moved inland, the villages in West China became both a refuge and a testing ground. Chinese Christian reformers who moved there promoted cooperation, local leadership, and new roles for women. One example is the Rural Service Team of Jingling College, a leading Christian institution for women's higher education. During the war, its members organized literacy classes for village women who had never been to school and taught basic hygiene for families facing disease and displacement. But just as importantly, they listened to the needs and concerns of villagers. To be sure, their efforts during the war is short-lived and constrained by wartime conditions. But it was not marginal. Together, they created new space for mutual support and life improvement. So, in a time of upheaval and war, we may ask, what does faith look like when a nation is at war? The story of Christians in wartime China invites us to see religion differently, not just as a set of beliefs or doctrines, but as practice that can reshape how people respond to crisis, care for one another, and try to rebuild social life under extreme pressure. Thank you.